Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'll start with good. That's a great question, though. That's a really good question. Do you mind if I use the question? I don't mean to say I'm using the question on you, but do you mind? How are you doing?
I'm good.
Here's the thing. I've learned recently to ask questions. I used to not ask questions. Right now, I'm not asking questions. So do you like being asked questions?
It is annoying when you're like on a dating thing and like men never ask you any questions.
Do you think it could be annoying in the extreme in the other direction? Like if a man only asked you questions?
Yeah, I might think he was trying to hide something.
Oh yeah, no, I only have a weird secret. I'm just weird. I think even the questions we ask can reveal things about ourselves. Here's a question. What do you think is the most dates you've ever been on with one person?
I don't know, like 20.
Let me ask this addendum. What do you think is the most number of dates you've been on with someone before you stopped counting the dates?
Probably like 3. What about you?
I like counting. I don't have particular methodologies in place, but I think it's valuable to think about these things to be like, okay, by the 10th date, we should have each seen each other's home, unless there's some specific reason that we shouldn't have. By the 300th date, I think we should be engaged, or at least have a conversation about, where's this going? We've been on 300 dates. I mean, if you believe in marriage, then I think you should be married perhaps on your 1000th date. I don't think I've ever been on 1,000 dates with someone.
But if you did, you would get married to them.
Or at least as I was approaching the 1000th date, I would be thinking is this a person that I want to spend my 1000th date with? I have been married. We did not go on 1,000 dates and we're no longer married. So I'm not saying that that's proof, but I do think that if we'd been on 1,000 dates, then we wouldn't have gotten married.
Where would you have suggested we go if this were an in-person date?
Like a movie is like a classic date, but not necessarily a great first date, because it seems valuable to me to get to know a person from them talking.
If you had to pick a movie to judge somebody's personality and dateability on, what would that movie be?
I would say Groundhog Day. It's hard for me to imagine someone not liking Groundhog Day, but it would be very curious if somebody didn't, and I would want to explore what made them feel that way. Maybe they had a run-in with Bill Murray and it left them, he snuck up on me once and put his hands over my eyes. And so now I'm like, wow, well, that's very reasonable. What about these other time loop movies? Do you like them?
Well, some people think it's sexist because the woman doesn't have a very important role in it.
What a great answer. Well, have you seen Palm Springs? I don't want to spoil it for you, but it has some similarities to Groundhog Day that address what you're talking about.
I guess I'll check it out.
I guess my new answer to that question would be Groundhog Day, and also a movie in which women or non-men are centered.
Do you feel like you're in a time loop?
If it's exactly like Groundhog Day, then this is my first one, because I don't remember specifically any of the other ones. To get to live your life over again and see what things you can change. And I guess in this life, we can do that. We can see hey, I did things this way for a while, and these results happened.
Right, you got married after less than 1,000 dates. So now you can see if getting married after 1,000 dates matters.
Oh yeah, and in fact, I think we were together, total including the marriage, about 3 years. And I think now I wouldn't marry someone until I'd been with them at least 3 years. I have at least one data point that 3 years is not necessarily enough.
There's also, since we're not on a loop, there's only so many times you can spend 3 years with a person.
It is good to figure out some things earlier.
I gotta head out, but thank you so much for...
It was a pleasure. Thank you for taking this time.
Yeah, I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you. You too.